It looks as if it's 7:03 and we are live. Jess, you all set? Thumbs up? Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and read the remote participation text. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Baker issued an emergency order temporarily suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. Public bodies otherwise governed by the OML are temporarily relieved from the requirement that meetings be held in public places, open and physically accessible to the public, so long as measures are taken to ensure public access to the body's deliberations through adequate and alternative means. This meeting will be broadcast live on Channel 8 and on Zoom. The public may participate remotely by following in the call-in information at the bottom of the screen. For Zoom meeting information relating to remote participation, please contact Cindy Knox, the IT manager at it@ayer.ma.us, or call 978-772-8220, extension 123, or Carly Antonella's assistant town manager at atm@ayer.ma.us, or call 978-772-8220, extension 149 prior to the meeting. All right, so the meeting has been called to order, and can I get a hello from everybody and introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Julie Murray on the planning board here at CPC.
Ta-da!
I'm Barry Schwarzel with the
Jason.
Historical.
All right, Barry. Jason?
Jason Mayo from Park Commission.
Colleen Creaser, at-large member.
All right, you're going to be difficult to hear, Colleen. You got a little bit of scratchiness going there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Colleen Creaser, at-large member.
All right, sounds great. Jess?
Yes, Gugino, clerk.
All right, and Janet Providakis from Housing. We are just missing Beth Sudemeyer from At-Large and Open Space. All right, can I get, let's see, is there any type of correction to today's agenda? Anybody has anything to add, subtract, edit? Okay, we're good. We're just gonna go right on with that. Approval of the minutes from last month's meeting. I didn't have any corrections. Did anybody else have any corrections, additions, or edits? All right, can I get a motion to accept the minutes as written?
I abstained because I wasn't at the last meeting. So.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from, I don't have them in front of me. What date? April 7th?
Yes.
Second.
all right. All in favor, Julie,
Aye.
Jason,
Aye.
Jess,
I,
Colleen?
Aye.
I'm Barry, you was, right, abstain or whatever, and Janet, the chair says aye, so it's been accepted. All right, moving on, the next on the agenda is correspondence and bills. One thing that for correspondence, I wanted you all to be aware of the Ayer Community Garden, because of becoming part of Growing Places out of Leominster. They're under the umbrella of Growing Places for being a nonprofit, 501c3. So when it comes to any type of the invoices that the Ayer Community Garden has, it's got to go now to Growing Places, and Growing Places then sends it to the town, and the town will then reimburse Growing Places. So it's got to go that routine because they're underneath that umbrella. I had forgotten to mention that to you earlier. So that's why it's like, okay. That was really the only type of correspondence back and forth between, Sheila and Lisa Gabry. Because I keep saying, oh yeah, I approve these invoices, and it's like, Janet, you can't. It's got to go to them. So, so I wanted you guys.
Only for the Ayer Community Garden that the town would pay for. Is that correct? Not the whole, what other umbrella that they're under?
Oh, it's just the Ayer Community Garden.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Sheila ended up, like I say, they wanted to become a 501c3, and Growing Garden went ahead and said, why don't you just come underneath our umbrella? And it worked out pretty good, other than beforehand, we were paying the bills right to them, and then they let us know about that relationship, and now it's goes back to Growing Places instead. So, all right, did anybody else have any type of correspondence? No, okay, just double checking. All right, then the current business that we've got is, I know that everybody is looking at the 5-year, we're trying to get the 5-year community preservation plan up and going. I emailed Community Opportunities Group, COG, and also sent a request from Jen Golson. Jen is going to reply back to us with, I gave her the scope of work that we had developed. And with that, she's going to return with a type of schedule, as well as her fee that should be charging. Community Opportunities Group wanted to know what we have for a budget. So that was my question that I wanted to ask you guys. I know that they're not going to have to do everything and anything like they had to before. And since a lot of the stuff is going to be done by virtual through Zoom meetings or GoToMeetings or whatever, so they're not going to have to do as much commuting back and forth. Last time they quoted us something like $20,000. That was back in 2017. I don't think it should be as expensive to do it. And I know that we do have the $12,000 for due diligence, plus the $5,000 administrative. So I'm thinking to put a budget, of telling them, again, it shouldn't cost as much as the last quote. I'm thinking of throwing out a number of like $10,000. Feedback from you guys?
I'd probably give it a range, maybe 10 to 15 or something,
Okay.
but just say that we're, like everybody, really looking to cut costs and such.
And to tell them, the reason why it shouldn't be as much is because things are going to be done remotely.
Right.
And we've got all the different, the open space and rec plan. We've got the new master plan. There's so much more that all these documents are done prior to all this.
Actually, as I think about it, I don't actually think we should give them a figure. I think you should tell them what they can draw on. Well, I mean, does that put Jen Goldson at a disadvantage if?
See, yeah, because she didn't ask. So I think you're probably right. Maybe I need to just reply back on, well, what do you think, you'd need to charge for this scope of work, as well as many of the documents have already been produced for the other departments. It's not like, you got to reinvent the wheel like they had to originally.
Yeah, well, maybe you could say that, that, 4 years ago, they were quoting 20,000, but now we've got several different other documents that are now can be drawn on.
Mm-hmm.
And with meeting remotely, there's no travel expense. So we're hoping to keep it under, not give a 10 to 15, but keep it under 15, but convey that they're still competing with somebody else.
Okay.
So they both have that same, and I'd give that information to Jen Goldson too.
All right.
But they wouldn't be able to give us an idea of what it would cost?
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like, I mean, again, they were able to give me a quote of 20, or give us a quote of 20,000 back in 2017. So Roberta must have all that stuff from Courtney Starling, and I would imagine, again, she was part of that conversation back then. They know what they had before. So I think I'm going to go with, your first gut feeling, Jess, not even give them a dollar amount and just say, give us a ballpark figure of what you think it would cost. And then this way here, we're not putting Jen at any type of disadvantage.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that, because it's sort of like saying, well, how much you gonna charge us? It's like, well, how much do you got? It's like,
Right.
that's really not what we had in mind, so.
Yeah, I agree. All right. All right, so that's what I'll go ahead and I'll do. All right, and do it that way. So that's what pretty much for that, and then the other current business that I have really is also part of a committee report is that Colleen has been accepted as a board of trustee for the Affordable Housing Trust.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you. Sorry I couldn't make the meeting last night.
That's all right, no problem. Cindy, the other at-large members is Cindy Lavin. I'll wait for Jess to write these down.
how do you spell Cindy? Is it with an I or Y?
With a Y, C-Y-N-D-I.
Wait, C-Y-N-D-I?
Oh, wait a minute, no, I got a couple Cindy's in my life. Yeah, no, it is C-Y-N-D-I. Yeah,
Wow, okay.
yeah. And we've got Jennifer. She spells her name C-A-L-I, but it's stated Kale.
Okay,
All right, and then the third member is Jake Driscoll, D-R-I-S-C-O-L-L. Those are the three at-large members that the Housing Committee, we had 9, 2 backed out when they found out that there were 9 going for 3. Interviewed 7. Out of the 7, 5 received votes. Out of the 5, 3 received unanimous votes. So it was sort of like, again, we limited and we had a 5, and that was the other 2 individuals was Pat Bagney Latimer from the real estate firm downtown, as well as this woman, Pamela Barberio, B-A-R-B-E-R-I-O. And they received 3 votes each.
well,
So-
I'm putting those details in the minutes.
All right, okay, no problem.
Yeah, it's like.
Okay, yeah, and like I said, it was great candidates. I mean, the interviews were impressive. It was difficult to make the choices. So we did, like I say, we got 3 good people, and then Jeff Tillotson from Planning Board is also going to be on the Board of Trustees. And then and Scott Copeland got voted in last night from the Select Board, and he'll be the Select Board member. And then the only opening that we do have now is the Affordable Housing Committee still needs to find 1 individual to go ahead and be on the Board of Trustees, and then we'll have our 7. So
Colleen is there for CPC, right?
Colleen is there for CPC. Yep. So they all got appointed last night at the Select Board meeting. So that would be like our part of current business, and also 2 committee reports on how the Board of Trustees is moving along.
Janet, may I ask, I got a piece of contact information of the woman who spoke at town meeting regarding this trust and the ideas she wanted to see
Really?
enacted. So I got that contact information, and can I send that directly to you? So that way the board itself or the group, or would you rather me send it to Colleen or Jeff, or how do I connect you with her?
Why don't you go ahead and send it to me, because then I can go ahead, because we're going to be having a meeting, sort of going to be like a joint meeting of the committee as well as the board.
Okay.
So, all right, and then I don't know, on a Board of Trustees, I don't know whether or not there's chairman, vice chair and everything. Yeah, that's something that they're going to have to figure out exactly who will be the primary point of contact.
Okay.
So right now, let's stick to giving it to the committee. And then as the board gets themselves together and such, and then we'll know exactly what to do, because I know the board in time is going to be coming back to and it will be the board, not the committee, coming to CPC for a request of additional funds.
Right.
So, okay. But yeah, that's great to get that type of feedback. So, yeah, I know we had some great feedback, during the interviews as well as at the select board meeting last night. I keep saying the words breath of fresh air because it is so nice to see so many new faces. And same thing with town meeting. It was just nice as well. So, all right. And from the select board meeting last night, the Board of Trustees pretty much start now. They don't wait until July 1st. It's not a fiscal year appointment, and it's a 2-year appointment, but whoever wants to stay on can ask to be kept on and such, and then we can revolve it with other individuals that people want to step down and whatever. So, make sense? Okay. All right. For new business, I don't have any. Nobody came up to me afterwards saying, hey, we're going to be looking for additional funds or anything else like that. I know that I did speak a little bit to Jeff Thomas with regards to the playground, and he told me that he also has been talking to Mark Wetzel, who might be able to find some additional funds for the playground. So it would be really nice if we get all that put together and such. But does anybody else have anything, with regards to new business? No?
Nope.
That's good. Okay, well, then we're just going to move right along and go into the committee reports. And Julie, I'll let you take it from here for planning.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna pull up 2 things. So you just said some of it, Janet. We appointed Jeff Tillotson to the Affordable Housing Trust. We have been working on a public hearing for Catania Oils, who are doing that addition that we talked about at town meeting as well. And we've done site visits there. We're working with McDonald's. Let me check one more place, forgive me. Yep, I think that's about it.
All right, they did a great presentation during town meeting.
Oh,
Catania
their
Oil.
site visit was amazing. I mean, they're proud of their business and we're proud to have them. And it's been interesting to see it all work. And I mean, what they're doing is above and beyond. So I've been learning a lot.
Yeah, they said that, how many more jobs were they going to be creating? Do you remember what they said?
I'm not going to quote that tonight because
Okay.
I don't want to say that wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
nice that there's going to be new jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. All right. Well, that's good to hear. And tell Jeff thank you, even though I've already said it, but it's nice. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, Barry, how about historic?
Historic, we get approval by the Mass Historic for a grant for survey and planning grant award to add to the 20,000 inventory money that we're receiving from CPC. So it'll give us enough money to get us a consultant to do the phase 2 of the inventory project. Although we're still waiting for the paperwork to come back so we can sign the contract. We haven't received that yet, but we do have an official correspondence from Michael Steinitz of Mass Historic, but that's definitely been approved. So
Great.
that's for 12,005. So that will,
Right.
that will get us our project consultant. So
Nice. That's pretty much what Aileen did the last time, right?
Yes,
Or no? Yeah.
yes, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And I had one more thing, just to let you know, when Maggie Durant had gotten a hold of Carolyn Goldstein from UMass Boston in regards to a Mass Memories Roadshow. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this, but what they do from UMass, once you've fill out all the criteria. There's things like there's a minimal stipend that you have to give to UMass Boston, so they'll come out, and in one day, all these people in the town will bring their memories, pictures, whatever you want them to scan, and it will go on the UMass Boston website, and anybody can access it. Right now, there's a whole slew of towns, Lowell and Newport, and you can go in and look at all these different pictures, and it's what created or what made the town special. All the different people, and it's really quite interesting. But it's nothing that they could probably do this in the fall, but we're not ready for the fall yet because you really need a lot of people. We got to get the word out. We have to get a place to do it. They bring all the scanning equipment that you would need to do all that, and they would just take people. They get it all done in one day, because I asked a question, well, what if you get 100 people or you get 500? So we get it all done in one day. So like I said, we haven't even had a chance after Maggie and I spoke with Carolyn last week. We haven't had our meeting yet to discuss it in the meeting, but it was kind of unanimous that we do contact UMass to look more into this program. But it's something I know that we as the historical have been wanting to do for a long time. We looked at the oral history project and everything else, but it's difficult because we're just such a small organization. And it's like what you were talking before about new blood. I mean, Maggie has all these great ideas, and I'm glad that she brought this, so that's what we're working on anyway. So get your pictures together, and hopefully by the spring, maybe we could hopefully have this up and running.
And these are memories of Ayer, right?
Nope. Well, people that live in here, I saw one from Lowell that it was a family, and they were all baseball players in the town of Lowell. They had the grandfather, and I guess one of the sons had coached, and then the little boy was a player, and it was of an ice cream shop in Lowell, and who owned it and who knew this one and that one. It's to bring anything. You live in here, then you must have some history or something to contribute. Because we're all from different backgrounds, and we all make up the town of Ayer. So they're not excluding everyone. We want everybody to bring whatever they think is important to them. So.
Oh, wow, nice. What would be good is, do you have the website for the other towns that have already done this?
Yeah, I'll send that to you, because I did look at it, but yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it would be great to be able to share that, with the team here. So,
Yes, I'll get that to you.
all right, that sounds great. I know that I spoke with Irv at the town meeting because of the signs missing. That is like, the CPC funds at work. And I think it's because it was pretty much a temporary sign, and it really got weather beaten. So he was going to try to find it, but maybe seeing that a lot of work has already been accomplished, maybe we give them one of the permanent signs to put on the building. He's also trying to think whether or not we might be able to want a metal sign being put on the building. So I told them that I could probably look and see what type of price that would be.
I can, similar to what the historic sign that's on there now. Is that what
Correct.
you're thinking of? Okay.
Mhm.
I can get you some prices if
All right, that'd be
you
great.
want,
Thank you.
because I had used, I think it's Erie. It's out of Pennsylvania. Escapes me off the top of my head. I hate getting old. Anyway, I'll find that for you.
Well, Erie sounds good for being Pennsylvania. All right, yeah, if you can do that, that would be great, Barry.
Yep.
And you want to know a little bit more about the status on the preservation restriction as well as the grant agreement. And I told them, I said, I thought we were waiting for the grant that he was working on and seeing what type of restriction they had.
Right, because as of that meeting, when he was wondering whether we should do one or two, I think you brought up that, no, we're gonna stick with the original grant, which required them to do a preservation restriction. And we were sticking with that. So
Right.
that ball is in their court from everything that I can gather, that ball is in their court.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll follow up with him and then I'll CC you on it, Barry.
All right, thanks.
Okay. All right. Okay, that it for historic?
Yes, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Jason. Parks and Rec.
Well, we had our parks at Thorny Park. We had basically all of our fields full with activity for the first time since 2019 last night. So we're inching back, I would say. We're back, which is really great after so long. The fields and semblance of normalcy.
Mhm.
So it's good to hear. The big news for us is we got our permit to operate the beach.
Nice.
So we're good to go with that. We actually have a meeting tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about enacting a residence only policy, air residence only policy for this year. So, but we're good. We're going to be opening on time. We'll have some distancing rules and we'll have some things, some policies in place, but we got our certificate from the Board of Health and we're ready to roll with swimming this summer.
All right, that's good. One of the
And
things, I was gonna say, one of the things that the Board of Selectmen talked about yesterday, with regards to their future goals is, looking at the building at, Sandy Pond, for the bathhouse.
Yeah, we have that on our radar, it's getting old and that will pop up on our capital plan, but if that's something that we could tap into CPC funds, that would certainly be helpful.
Yeah.
Big challenge there for us is we can't even really renovate what we have because of the ADA compliance. So our bathroom doors would be too narrow. We would basically, it's not worth it to renovate that building. We'd have to really just tear it down and start
fresh.
something new.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'll do some research, beforehand.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, because I know that the Board of Selectmen or the Select Board spoke about some of the goals. One of them is because the fields passed over in Shirley. So they'll be looking at that as well as re-evaluating the senior center. So those are going to be things that will probably be, coming towards us as well. So.
Yeah. And I want to, talk about how great of a job that Jeff Thomas does with our fields and his staff. And I don't know if you know, but we rehab the fields as best as we can, the baseball and softball fields at the high school, and we help out the school with the middle. I'm not gonna. It's Jeff and his crew. They do it all. They do all the work. I just say yes in a meeting for them to get it done. But he's out there. He's all over the place doing a ton of work. So we greatly appreciate. He's such an asset to the town.
Yeah, I agree for sure. It's like, oh, all right. So that's it?
That's it.
Okay. And let's move on to Jess with conservation.
Yes, we did receive that grant from the Nashua River, the Stewardship Council. So that
Nice.
for putting up signs, waterway signs. And otherwise, we've been looking at McDonald's, Catania Oils, bunch of other applications, and we're swamped. So.
Well, I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up because people have been asking me with regards to the conservation fund. Whatever happened to, I don't know if it's the land use or trying to check to see whether or not there's any type of possibilities for purchasing land. I mean, somebody brought that up as well at the town meeting. So again, I know you guys are out straight, but has anything happened at all?
Joanne, who's very good, has been making contacts. But people being interested in letting go of their land is a very slow process. We have forks in the fire,
Okay,
but we also are more than swamped. But and we would move faster if there are some things like Stratton Hill's going to be starting up again. And if the conservation restriction for that goes through, there may be some other things we can do with nearby properties that we can't move forward on at this particular point. But that would be helpful to help, so.
okay. All right, so at least, like I say, it isn't just being put on a back burner that all of a sudden now it's gotten really cold. So I'm glad Joanne's still keeping her contacts and everything else. All right, that's good. I know that I touch base, from what I understand, with regards to the old firehouse down on Washington Street. Calvin Moore has been ill. So with that, I'm gonna try to reach out to either CJ or Todd and see what else is going on. But I'll go through Alan Manoyan's office because they've still been in touch. So I'll do that. Okay. All right. Colleen, anything going on?
Nope, nothing here.
Okay. All right. Okay, that was the committee's reports. I don't think that, I don't know if there's anything else people want to, I should ask if there's any public participants that may have a question. I don't see anybody else other than us 8. But again, if there are any questions or concerns, definitely, let us know. You can contact Town Hall, the Assistant Town Manager's office, and Carly will be able to get messages to us, and we'll be able to respond to them during one of our meetings. So our next meeting, I should probably look and make sure that I got the date right. I've got June 2nd will be our next meeting. And at that one, we'll probably figure out exactly what we'll do for the July meeting, because July would be July 7th. I don't know, I think that should be fine. But we'll double check. All right, well, if there's nothing else that people want to bring up, can I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, all in favor, aye?
Hi,
Aye.
everybody.
Bye.
All right. Guys, thank you so
Have
much.
a good night.
All right,
Good
you
to see you.